So, pretty much every company jumping into AI is getting hit with this massive, often shocking surprise. I'm talking about the cloud bill. Today, we're going to dig into why that bill gets so high and why a lot of what we thought we knew about AI costs is basically wrong now. For years, right, the whole story around AI was just how ridiculously expensive it was to train these huge models. But what if I told you that's not the biggest piece of the puzzle anymore? What if the real financial trap is actually hiding somewhere else entirely? Yep, it's not building it, it's using it. The biggest cost is shifting away from that one-time upfront effort and moving to the day-in, day-out perpetual cost of actually running it for your users. The entire economic model is flipping on its head. And this brings us to our first big idea, what we're calling the Great AI Cost Inversion. We are witnessing a fundamental structural change in where the money is actually going. This is really the heart of the change. We're leaving the old training economy, where the main cost was that initial build, and we're entering the inference economy. And in this new world, the cost that never ever sleeps is the day-to-day operation. So to really get a grip on this, we need to break down these two economies. They operate on completely different principles. And trust me, understanding that difference is the absolute key to getting your costs under control. Here's the best way to think about it. Training a model is like a massive construction project. It's a huge, one-time capital expense. It's predictable, and it's mostly limited by raw computing power, what we call flops. But inference? That's your utility bill. It's an operational expense that just keeps coming month after month, and it scales with every single user. And here's the kicker. Its bottleneck isn't raw math. It's something much trickier, memory bandwidth. And this, right here, is the silent killer of AI budgets. When your model is generating a response, those super powerful, super expensive GPU cores, a lot of the time, they're just sitting there, idle, waiting for data to be moved from memory. That wait time is literally where your money vanishes into thin air. So what exactly is memory bandwidth? I love this analogy. It's not about the size of the library, it's about how fast you can check out a book. You can have the biggest, most knowledgeable model in the world, but if getting the information to the processor is slow, everything just grinds to a halt. That speed is everything. And to give you a sense of the scale of this problem, get this. A single user having a decent length conversation with a large model can require 86 gigabytes of high-speed memory, just for that one conversation. That's more VRAM than a top-of-the-line H100 GPU even has on it. The physics are literally working against us here. Okay, so the problem is pretty clear, but it's not hopeless, not at all. We can fight back, and not with accounting tricks, but with smarter engineering. So let's look at the actual architectural levers we can pull to beat this bill. All right, so here's a classic hardware problem. A big 70 billion parameter model needs about 140 gigs of memory to run, but a high-end GPU only gives you 80. So what's the result? You're forced to rent two of these incredibly expensive GPUs just to load the model. You've doubled your costs before you've generated a single word. This is where a brilliant technique called quantization comes in. By reducing the precision of the model's numbers, the memory requirement just plummets. I mean, look at this chart. It drops from a whopping 140 gigabytes all the way down to just 40. That's a complete game changer. So what does this actually get you? Well, your model is now 75% smaller. It fits comfortably on a single GPU, which instantly cuts your hardware bill in half. And because you're moving less data around, it often runs twice as fast. That is a massive win. Another really powerful lever is changing the model's architecture. With something called mixture of experts, or MOE, you have this giant model, but you only use a tiny piece of it for any given question. So you get the amazing quality of a huge model, but with the speed and the cost of a much, much smaller one. It's kind of like having your cake and eating it too. Now, even if you optimize your models perfectly, you're not safe. There is a whole other category of expenses lurking in your cloud bill that have absolutely nothing to do with the GPU itself. Take a look at this breakdown. Up to 30% of your total AI cloud bill can come from these ancillary or hidden costs. If you ignore them, you're basically ignoring a third of your total spending. It's huge. First, you've got the egress trap. Every single time your AI generates an image or a document and sends it out to a user, you're moving data out of the cloud. And the cloud providers charge you for that, about 9 cents per gigabyte. For an app with a lot of users, this adds up incredibly fast. Next up, the cross-AZ tax. Let's say your training cluster gets accidentally spread across two different data centers or availability zones. Well, now the GPUs have to talk to each other over the network, and you get charged for every single gigabyte of that chatter. It can sometimes cost you more than the GPUs themselves. It's brutal. And finally, there's the API toll. This one is really sneaky. When you're training, your data loader might be reading millions of tiny files from cloud storage. Well, the cloud providers don't just charge for the data, they charge for each individual request. So millions of requests means millions of tiny charges that can make your storage bill absolutely explode. So with all these complex, interlocking costs, how do you possibly manage it all? You need a new playbook. You need a real framework for governance and financial discipline that's designed specifically for AI. And it all starts with this: a rigorous, non-negotiable tagging standard. Without it, your cloud bill is just one giant, meaningless number. By tagging every single resource, you can finally see exactly which model, which team, and which environment is driving your spending. This is step one. It's foundational. And that really brings us to our final thought. Managing AI cost isn't just about forecasting. It's about proactive design. The companies that are going to win are the ones who see cost not as an accounting problem, but as an architectural challenge. The goal isn't just to pay the bill, it's to build a system where the bill is manageable from the very start.